So hi, Scott. I thought it would be a great opportunity for us to have a bit of a chat around your implementation of Drift over Employment Hero. So before we begin, could you give us a quick overview around who you are, what you do, and where you work?
Sure. I'm Scott Wilson. I'm the CRM manager at Employment Hero. I've been with Employment Hero for a little over 12 months now. I think Employment Hero has been using Drift for, I want to say probably 2.5, 3 years. And so when I came on board, I kind of took over as the product manager of Drift. And yeah, since then we've kind of rolled out a whole heap of new playbooks across our new website and kind of added a whole lot more of the sales team into Drift and getting them up and running on both conversational sales and using Drift as like an additional sales tool in their arsenal.
Fab. And so thinking back about kind of that transition to conversational marketing, conversational sales, what were the key drivers for Employment Hero to implement conversational marketing and start engaging with customers when they came to the website?
Yeah, I mean, I think conversational marketing, conversational sales is absolutely what customers expect now. And if you're not playing in the space where making every part of the sales cycle easy for customers, you're really missing out on a huge opportunity. Whether that be with Drift or any other conversational marketing tool on a website, when your customers are there and they're trying to engage with you, you want to make sure that you're 100% aware of where they are, what they're doing, what stage of the buying stage they're in, and then also have the opportunity to engage with the customer in the channel and the capacity that they want to be engaged with. And that's absolutely for like both B2C and B2B sales these days is conversational. Both marketing and sales is absolutely key, and we've definitely found that with Drift, having implemented it on our site.
And so Drift often is described to me from my customers as kind of the tip of the spear when it comes to engaging with customers on the website. In terms of the Employment Hero stack, maybe you could run us through how you engage with customers, identify what they need, and then move them on to the next step of their journey using Drift and some of the other tools in your marketing ecosystem.
Yeah, absolutely. So our marketing approach is very much like a content marketing approach. So we'll run a lot of search and social activity promoting like sort of thought leadership content to try and capture as many leads as possible and bring them into the website through thought leadership content, webinar content, tools and templates and things for HR managers and business owners to assist in running their business. And so once we've captured all those leads, we bring them into the website, try and get them to download the content and then nurture them through email nurture programs and retargeting programs. And so obviously having them come onto the website, we want to provide a few different opportunities for them to interact with us and with our sales team. And in terms of the stack, we're absolutely using like search and social advertising. And then we've got obviously Marketo for our email nurture and website tracking, and Drift kind of forms another part of that piece, which is being able to alert sales readily when customers are engaging on the site, tracking and monitoring their behavior on the site, and then also providing that channel to communicate and kind of make the sales cycle more efficient and bring people through the funnel as quickly as possible.
I think that segues nicely.
I think I answered the question.
I think you did. Yeah, no, we got there. And in terms of kind of how you've actually implemented Drift on the website, we took a look a little while ago, and you've got somewhere between 40 and 50 different conversational experiences, all targeted towards some different users coming to the site, depending on what they need. I'd love if you could maybe walk us through a couple of those and help us understand why you've used those conversational experiences for the users that are coming to those parts of the site.
Sure. So with Drift, we have somewhere between 40 to 50 different playbooks running across the different parts of our site. Obviously, being a software platform, there's a lot of existing customers and existing business who come back to the website looking for information about the product, information about tools and templates, how they can get the most out of their subscription. So we need to provide kind of a multifaceted playbook or drift bot for the different roles that are actually coming back to the website. So we obviously have sort of generic like customer support and customer centric playbooks to kind of drive them or direct them to the resources that they need so they can find support on the website. If they need to get in contact with their account manager or something like that, we can take them through those workflows. And then obviously Drift is huge from a prospecting perspective for us as well. And so a majority of our playbooks on the website are related to prospecting. So we kind of have generic playbooks for people to be able to book a meeting, to be able to get in contact with a sales rep directly or find additional information. So if we can target somebody based on their interest in a particular aspect of the product, be it core HR, payroll, learning and development solutions, that sort of thing, we can take that interest and then push out different content sequences to them based on how they've interacted with the bot. And yeah, we've got multiple playbooks across the site. So if somebody's on a specific solutions page, we'll target them with a specific bot that runs through a few different key facts about that solution, a few features and benefits, and then tries to drive that interaction into either booking a meeting or talking to a sales rep directly. Our process of coming up with new playbooks and new content for those pages is very much the starting point's dependent on looking at GA and looking at how much traffic we're getting into different pages on the site, and therefore what opportunities we're potentially missing out on if we've got a large volume of traffic coming to a page where we don't have a bot active. It's just a missed opportunity to try and engage with a prospect. A good example of that I can think of recently, when we have new case studies published. Case studies are, great customer stories, great opportunity to showcase the product, but just as much people are finding those case studies on Google or LinkedIn and coming through and reading about other businesses. We want to capture the key points that somebody's reading throughout that case study, what features and benefits they're actually reading through about the platform, and providing an opportunity for a prospect to engage there. And so we'll want to have like a catchy, first tagline in that bot to say, hey, can we help you with, employee onboarding or something like that? I mean, that's a terrible tagline. You'd have to give me 5 minutes to come up with a better one. But yeah, something that kind of sparks an interest, gets somebody to interact. They're only interacting with a bot, but it's remarkable how quickly that engagement can go from interacting with a bot to, oh, I do actually want more information about this, or you can provide some more value there. And then it's just automatically an opportunity for sales to engage with that person and kick off a conversation. And so, yeah, 100% we're initially looking at where is most of our traffic coming in? Are we hitting people? Are we giving people the opportunity to interact with a bot on those pages? And then obviously, even new pieces of content, we use Drift landing pages to host that content and give people an opportunity to interact with the chatbot and ask questions on based on what they're reading. So yeah, building out pages based on new content, new parts of our product and solutions as well. Obviously, organically, new playbooks need to come up, but yeah, that's our main way we come up with new playbooks.
And I think conversions are ultimately where a lot of my customers want to get to, because that's what they're tracking, that's what they're measuring, and that's what ultimately they're using Drift for. For some of your goals, whether it's conversion related, revenue related, pipeline related, or meetings related, could you share some of the metrics that Drift has driven for you, perhaps in the last year?
Yeah, sure. Probably not going to get the numbers right off the top of my head, but 100% the biggest reason that we use Drift is to try and get warm or hot opportunities directly into the sales team, and convert those people while they're on the site into booking a meeting, as well as giving people the opportunity to book time directly into a rep's calendar. I think in the last year, I wouldn't know off the top of my head, sorry, but I would say like meetings booked, we'd be in the, I think we're somewhere around maybe 50 to 60 meetings booked per month, whatever that is annually. And in terms of those who book meetings who actually go on to become opportunities, I think we sit around about 65, 70% conversion with those who come through Drift. So yeah, it's definitely a huge number of additional meetings booked and opportunities created from Drift. I'd say it's somewhere around, I'd say 500 a year, something like that.
And with respect to
100%.
And with respect to the deal cycle as well, a lot of the sales team members who I speak to say that Drift helps shorten their sales cycle because it really starts to intercept the customers who come to their website. From thinking back to kind of pre-Drift and post-Drift, did you detect any difference in sales cycle length, and how has that impacted your sales teams?
It would be hard for me to say in terms of pre-Drift because I've only been with the company since we've been using Drift. I know that anecdotally from some of the sales team not having Drift on the website before, they've certainly said it's much better that they get a notification when their prospects come back onto site, and they can go and intercept that person either on the site or the same day and follow up with the prospect and say, hey, did you need any more information, blah blah blah, and shortening that sales cycle there. Certainly from a marketing perspective, having another avenue for people to be able to interact with us, get more information, and potentially book a meeting. It's certainly seen our volume of meetings booked and contact requested certainly go through the roof. Also with our lead scoring program as well, being able to have that additional piece of interaction there and score those prospects who are coming onto the site, it allows us to prioritize highly engaged leads and provide a channel to interact with them. And so, yeah, absolutely invaluable from that perspective.
So we've thought quite a lot around what your experience has been and your sales team's experience, but perhaps flipping this on its head to your customers and your buyers. How has the experience using Drift changed for them when they come to the website, when they interact with you and the team?
I think, as I've said before, their experience has become probably a lot more seamless. They have an opportunity to find more of the information that they're after on the website straight away on whatever page they're on. They can actually have a chat with us. If they meet our criteria, our MQL criteria, they'll go straight through and be able to talk with a rep or at least somebody in the team to actually get the answers that they need straight away. So yeah, in terms of shortening the sales cycle, for us, it's fantastic, but absolutely for the customer, they can find exactly what they need without having to navigate around the website for 20 minutes to find out whether or not we support a particular piece of software that they're using, or if we're compliant with a certain policy or something like that. They can find those answers quite quickly and be connected with someone of the team straight away. Previously, like they might end up, if they submitted a request, they might get an SLA follow-up within 7 days. Now they can actually interact with somebody straight away on the website. So from a customer experience, much better. Even with our existing customers, trying to find platform support as well, and find a resolution to their problem. Drift's absolutely simplified that experience as well. They can surface support articles quickly if we can find something that's related to their query, and if not, we can put them straight through to a support team member much easier. So across the board, a better experience for our leads, better experience for our customers.
And as someone who manages Drift, what I find sometimes is that you'll receive certain insights from customers or customer trends that you might not have expected previously. And that's almost caused you to change tact or change strategy internally around how you then interact with them. Has there been any instances where you've had some insights surfaced by Drift that's caused you to change the way that you operate?
I mean, absolutely. Just from like the most basic perspective, activities on our pricing page, the fact that we can monitor when somebody's returned to the pricing page, pop up a message and say, hey, you're back on the pricing page again. Is there something that we can help you work through, rather than having just that face value pricing? If somebody's got, a more complex situation they can actually go through the bot and immediately talk to somebody and kind of simplify that process. I think that certainly surfaced that our previous like bundles and the way we structured our pricing was actually kind of confusing to customers. And so we completely redesigned our website and launched a new website in July of last year. And Drift absolutely had an impact on that, understanding which pages were completely confusing for customers and where we'd see a lot of traffic through on the bot with people asking questions, enabled us to, kind of redesign the website, reposition actually how our pricing models worked and like simplify that so people really had a better idea of what was inclusive and what was not inclusive of pricing. So yeah, absolutely. It's we've drawn a few insights from that.
Awesome. So you and the Employment Hero team have been Drift users for a while now. What would you say to other organizations and other teams who are considering a move to conversational sales or conversational marketing? Any lessons that you can share for those people who are undertaking that journey?
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. Conversational marketing as a channel, it's almost, I would say, a no-brainer. If you're not using a bot and conversational marketing on your website, conversational marketing and conversational sales, it's just a channel that most consumers expect these days. They expect to be able to interact with a brand through a chatbot and get that real-time communication, or at least an answer or an opportunity to arrange a time to speak to somebody. I think most people, if they're going to submit a form, they think that in submitting that form, they're giving away their personal information. They're not sure how the company might treat that information. That's the thing. A lot of people would prefer to just interact with either a person or a chatbot to try and get an answer to their question. And so not providing that channel, you're potentially leaving, money on the table by not giving the consumer the opportunity to interact with your brand the way that they want to. And then from there, from just a tracking and an analytics perspective of who's on your website, what their behavior and their activity is, and being able to provide that real-time notification to both internally, for people to work that potential prospect. That's hugely valuable as well as just providing a better experience for the customer, providing easier access to information across the board. It's super beneficial.
So Scott, chatbots are not a new thing. They've been around for 10, 15 years. Legacy chat, live chat, that kind of thing. What would you say separates Drift from kind of a typical live chat solution?
To be honest, I haven't actually used many other live chat solutions before Drift. Drift was kind of an entry point for me into the live chat space. Having reviewed other providers, though, I think it's the actual whole encompassing package that Drift offers in terms of conversational marketing, syncing to other platforms and providing that data cross-platform to actually have a much better picture of how effective Drift is throughout our marketing automation tool with Marketo, and actually then into Salesforce, and how much pipeline and opportunities get generated with Drift, and being able to realize that in Salesforce as well, providing that end-to-end picture of how effective Drift is as a chatbot in those other platforms is super beneficial. And then I think, in terms of the sales team actually being able to use Drift as kind of like their daily tool to see what their prospects are doing on site, who's engaging, how frequently they're coming back to site, and prioritize those engagements as well, even outside of like a conversational marketing perspective. Super valuable. And then I think just the configurability of Drift, like it's the targeting rules that you can specify, how granular Drift is in terms of that segmentation and targeting. From what I've seen of competitors, it's not as good as Drift, or at least the interface and the usability of Drift for me is much easier than other tools that I've reviewed. So they're the main reasons I think why Drift has the edge.
Great. So we've done a lot of looking back at the moment. I'd love to look forward as well. What's next for Employment Hero?
Pretty aggressive international expansion. We've gone into 3 countries last year, the UK, New Zealand, and also, 4 countries, Singapore and Malaysia as well. I think there are more countries on the board this year as well for us to be entering into. So major regionalization of the website, and obviously with that come Drift as well, and providing that consistent experience across different markets, which again, super seamless with Drift. You pick, where the chat activity is coming from, which country, Drift will recognize the IP address and any other data that we have in our Marketo instance to actually segment that audience, and then we can target them with specific messaging, specific offers, and then also route that to our different teams internationally, and that's all super seamless and very easy to do. And then obviously from there, we're growing our product offerings almost by the week, it seems. There's a new product coming out, and so building out those playbooks to make sure that we've got all of that content, all the information that we can have readily available to the audience to be able to interact with and learn more about our products. Obviously, building out heaps more playbooks is in the pipeline this year.
Can't wait to see them. So Drift is often seen as a bot that sits on a website and obviously brings some of the sales team in and along for that ride. But as we both know, there's a lot more to Drift, especially in terms of sales engagement that is in the platform and in the package. What are some of your favorite parts of Drift that aren't related to the bot?
Yeah, so the team quite recently, sort of in the last 3 months, have been looking to kind of differentiate their pitch as well as their kind of like sales cycle. And so included as part of the platform for us, we have Drift Video, which just allows the sales team to record little snippets, welcome snippets to prospects and send a lot more sort of personalized greeting to that prospect, which if the prospect engages with it, it brings them back to a Drift landing page, which just provides a chat window for the prospect and the team member to be able to continue that conversation. And it's a lot more personalized, it's a lot more one-to-one, and we've seen a lot higher engagement and conversion rates through using that tool. As I said, we've only been trialing it for the last sort of 2 to 3 months, but all the reps who have been using it have seen a significant increase in those cold response rates when they're going out sort of on LinkedIn and initial targeting with our outbound team. So yeah, that was part of the platform that, again, buying a conversational marketing tool with a little Drift bot on the website, you kind of didn't expect that there was that added value, but having that there has been super helpful for the team.